ability, Jeff Nelson, to just lock it down and not show too much, maybe.
No, you know what? You have two former big leaguers here. You have Elise
With this Brito Lake. Lake's been absolutely on fire. Adames Cordero, Paredes, Diaz, and Guzman making the lineup out.
So he did pretty well in the winter ball. Let's look at the defense for Mexico Verde. You have Florial, Cordoba.
Number one, as we're ready to fire off the first pitch and get this started, Barreda presents to Nunez, and it's a foul ball.
Well, the one thing you can't do
this over Charros de Jalisco, and I know Bench and company want revenge. Here's the pitch from Barreda, lifted. It's a foul territory. Ball's finding its way back. Oh, and it finds its way onto the field, and we call it an E4. Last night, he throws at Tenerife in Spain as well, so it's good to see the sport growing.
Right, and you didn't have that when I played. I mean, you had winter ball, and that was he has to tell him and keep him sharp. I mean, even though this is a laid down game in some sense, you gotta stay sharp.
And he stays sharp indeed to left center, driving in the first run of the game. That's how you lock it in. Brito, swinging sweet, give me two. Or as we say in Mexico, he's played across 223 games with the Cubs, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, 4 seasons in big league baseball here. Lake just chops it over to first base. Barreda's going to cover, and that's good.
Why that everybody hated them because they won all the time.
This is a chopper from Adames. Played at first and quick. Mendoza tagging the bag, but another run comes across for Dominican Republic, making it 3-0. Leones del Escogido.
You have ever played a day in the big leagues. That's remarkable.
Siéntate. Caído. But Dominican Republic signed with the Orioles as an international free agent back in 2003. And he pitched for Oaxaca, who's been probably the best hitter other than Sepúlveda, Forto Materos, Yadir Drake, Joey Meneses. You have Mendoza, Verdugo, Florial, and Solis close over 360 on average. The pitch. And he unloads on this one. Deep drive to center. Oh, excellent. Out of the 2016 Rule 5 draft, the pitch. 3-1, the delivery lifted to right field, and that's 2 down.
And deception on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
And Amador handling it nicely. Line drive to left. Oh, they'll talk about Beatles, good music. And recently Depeche Mode. Here's a good shot. Oh, nice. Flashing the leather, thrown over the first, but this is not going to be a completely nice play. This is going to give some life to Tomateros. Es Amador with the A's. The pitch. Siéntate. Kate him there with the venom and leaving 2 runners stranded. Radames lead.
Trouble, but you don't want the Dominican to sit there and intimidate you. You want to stay in the game at least.
Sits him down there with some to Diaz. A lot of foul territory, and we've been talking about it. This is
I could stand behind the plate and back behind the screen.
Siéntate. Swinging and missing. Barreda gave up 3 early.
Score early 3-0, and throughout the whole Caribbean series.
Mendoza with the grounder. Nunez fielding it nicely. And that's going to be the
dealing.
And dealing, but Verdugo swinging. Base knock to center. Off of the full count here at the top of the second 3.
And the different ways that they catch. The mechanics is totally different.
Well, no one's going to catch that one. Grounder into the outfield. Base knock for Florial. Received some criticism last night. They were hoping he can come up clutch with something like that late in the game against Charros. Solis with the grounder, hot shot. This looks like 2. Dead at first. Open up the first week of baseball for 2026 on MLB Network. Working our way to the World Baseball Classic. And then, of course, spring training and the regular season. Cordoba making the play, the former Padre, building it nice and easy into left center, 1 down.
Favorite team?
Great conversation there with Don Reggie. Just so much respect. A lot of Latinos, because of the Martinez Jackson, there's a lot of love for Don Reggie as well. Here's a walk. From what I understand, just
drafted in 4 different sports.
Yeah. It's like one of the first versions of Bo Jackson. Here's a chopper. Verdugo steps on the bag.
And it goes all the way down when they were young. I mean, you talk about 7, 8, 9-year-olds.
Verdugo can't field it on the bounce. Now, it may look like dirt, but it's sort of like a... And Adames lifting it to left, and that will do it. So we go to the bottom. Fun you had playing in winter ball. I know you played with our good friend Candy Maldonado at Vaqueros de Bayamón.
The main area is Verde, where all the Americans and a lot of the tourists go. So I would go out with some of the Puerto Rican players, and one of the guys that...
The years. And some of the best catchers, if not the best catchers in the game. Cordoba's going to get a hold of this one. This one's going to fly. Deep drive. Adios! So Cordoba finding his stroke after finding the leather last night. Unleashes one here. Home base to Tower. We got power. And Tomate. The pitch. And Amador. Little soft fly to third base. And that's going to do
it. You're going to have to let it go all the time. You can't pace yourself.
Ooh. And Yadir Drake.
Fernando Valenzuela, you know, Oral Hershiser. And also the history that they had. It's just like the Yankees, how he wound up hitting Drake with that breaking ball. That was a good pitch right there.
Whoa. And they're willing to share those stories. I love the stories. I absolutely. And for a play-by-play guy, you're kind of just sitting there. Here's 2 to Verdugo. Lees fires. Siéntate. Cade. So the 42-year-old first baseman Monday at 7 Eastern only on MLB Network. Frenchy Cordero says, well, bye. Nice and quiet. The stroke. And he unleashed that one.
Well, welcome to the 4th inning.
Pitch the 2-1. Paredes lifting it to right field. Yadir Drake. Oh, he's going to have it bounce in front of him. I thought he was.
You had 3 Hall of Famers on that team, and for them not to get to the World Series, only team that's never been to the World Series, just shocks me.
Elevated to sound. Barreda presents to Guzman. Another fly ball to center. Cordoba busy. Out number 2. Well hit. Right field. That's going to tuck for a fair ball. Tuck in there and go chase it. Yadir Drake. As there's a play at the plate to throw.
And you're trying to throw a breaking ball. You have to stay back and get on top of it.
Siéntate. Cade said, you know what?
Ball hitter, you can get him out upstairs.
It's going to drop in there to right field. Alisson. Runner on first, one down here in the bottom of the 4th. Tomatero's looking for 2, but now León is el escogido looking for 2, and they turn it. Nope. Safe at first to get the lead out, 2 down.
That would be able to pitch in those days and pitch 3 innings and still get a save. Nowadays, the 1 inning and you get the save, or, you know, certain fans out there that see, 100 miles an hour, but they measure the speed differently. They all measure it out of the hand. So it's now we get to see it in person.
Siéntate. Lees.
Doesn't have the velocity to get away with pitches upstairs. He's 91, 92. There's an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. He'd like to be starting to get a little bit tired. Really good games, and they're getting a lot of easy outs. They're filling up the strike zone. They get about 4 or 5 innings, 6 innings in.
Gunned him. So Solis adjusts off of the pitch and just fires a cuetazo over to.
You know, so they use you get. Let's see what the umpires say here. Oh, they got him.
Oh, they got him. So
wow, give you 110, 120 every 5 days. It's just not the way the game is now.
That's another walk issue, but all the scouts start showing up, and eventually you find the Oscar Robles, the Esteban Loaizas, and the Jose Silvas. Here's the pitch. Is going to get away from Solis, so the runner will advance. Grounds it to third. Out at first. Good job by Amal.
Players bus, 1998. We almost tipped over.
Grounder to second. It's going to bring up Yadir Drake to start things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Chopper to second. Nunez handles.
Al Hraboski.
Meneses drives it to right. Brito says nice and easy. Phillies out there. We've had some tables. Yeah, no, those guys were great. Quick chopper, quick inning, good work by Valdez. Latinos with fame. There's been, the Marshall. I get it. I'm not saying. Oh, Franchi Cordero. Deep drive. Adios. Bombazo. Another one. Make it 2 for Franchi.
When we see the replay, watch Verde, the pitcher, after he threw that pitch. That was absolutely demolished.
The 2-2 to Paredes. Paredes unleashes. Adios. Another vacation for Miss Pearl. She's been traveling all across Guadalajara tonight, courtesy of the Dominican Leones del Escogido.
Would advance. They would love to run the table and be undefeated. But at the same time, if you're Mexico Verde.
Dominicana dominating. Again, chopper to short. Verdugo is going to play it. Going over to the first. In the clubhouses. See right now the pitch. Well, I guess we'll save it for later. I was going to talk about the phones. How they've affected this sport. Verdugo jeters it to right.
His final year, you're right.
Yep. Gold. And that is a walk for Esteban Florian.
Minor leaguer, and I'd say, you know what, that was a strike. And he just shake his head.
I thought we were going to.
Now, if you ask Tino, that's a ball. It was a ball all the way.
Of course. But I'm telling you, my Padres weren't too shabby that year.
No, they were not.
Siéntate, Valdez. And also for San Diego State football. But to respect that, we call it the Murph Dragon. And Dracarys into center field. Sepúlveda with some fire. For Tomateros, bringing in Verdugo. The pitch to the Panamanian. He's going to hit a soft liner to short. He'll be retired. Played in 2019, 2023 as well. The pitch, Amador on the button, but perfect placement by Guzman. Lead and full cruise control until the late innings, I should say. I think Puerto Rico just did a really nice job, just like Verdugo does a nice job there of just sweeping it up and retiring Hernandez for the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Then you have Cordero, the closer, who has 3 saves already for the Dominican Republic. You want to stay out of the back end of the bullpen.
And Brito.
What he can just, spell out to all the players. Now you're seeing more of
with it and building a pretty solid career. The runner goes, the throw from Solis to third, and that's going to end up in left field. And Dominicana is going to register one more, so it's a 7-3 ball game now. It's Hernandez.
You always have to deal with that. They're always reading and believing the hype.
The play by Sepúlveda, picking it up. The new pitcher, the left-hander for República Dominicana, Leones del Escogido. Have been in crew the bottom of the 7th. It's 7-3, Dominican Republic, and Yadir Drake places one into center field, the Mexican-Cuban. The 1-2 to Meneses. This time he splits the diamond. So he's getting it going at the right time for Tomateros, leading into tomorrow. 2 runners on for Tomateros. Teller fires, misses, but the ball's going to escape, and this is going to advance the runners. It's under it, driving into center. And this should drive in Yadir Drake. And it's a 7-4 ball game with 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, these are the opportunities that Mexico
feel about that.
I love emotion. I think this is a very tough game, and Here's another wild pitch. I made the mistake. It's my fault, not yours. Enjoy it, because hopefully it doesn't happen too often.
Siéntate.
Stay and watch it, but he doesn't.
Oh, just missed outside, and he's going to draw the walk with two.
Perfect match.
Siéntate. K's him. Pause for the cause. We'll be back. 7-4 ball game. Or the early game, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then the afternoon, evening game, it's going to be Charros versus. You know, you use those wheels to get his first major league hit. Here's Cordero. Frenchie lines it, and Frenchie's already. Paredes, who's 2 for 3. Done a good job himself at the plate. Foul ball there.
You know, when they used to have some extra minor league teams and you had more minor leaguers in the organization, these guys found jobs. You brought them into camp, whether it was a
turn pitcher to a minor league deal. Here's a chopper. And then he went on to the Astros, became a free agent, went with the Indians, the Guard.
Play in Puerto Rico, if you're Mexico Verde, you know you're going to have to try to score early.
Sepulveda drives it to right, deep, off of the wall. By far the best one, and seeing the work that Kirk did with that staff. So unfortunate one of those teams had to lose. Córdoba gets hit there, but I mean, it was a World Series in probably the most dangerous batter that Tomateros has. Amador, line drive to right center field, driving in Sepulveda. So a bump for Dominicana. Taking a look at some of his numbers here in Serie del Caribe, Jalisco 2026.
Yeah, 30-year-old out of St.
Drake, like the rapper Drake in that song, Come On Home, bring it in. Córdoba scores, and now this is going to guarantee another run. And it's a tie ball game, 7-7. 2 by Dominican Republic, and this offering to Meneses, and he just missed it. Got under it. But there's going to be a tag situation to throw. And Drake's going to score, and it's going to be an 8-7 ball game now for Tomateros de Culiacán. México Verde taking the lead for the first time tonight. Mendoza lifts it to right center. Verdugo with 2 strikes gets his 3rd knock of the game. Scrappers, a great ball. Oh, Florial unleashes one. Deep drive, moonlight drive. Adios. Found his stroke tonight. That's his 2nd hit of the ball game. Drew a couple of walks. Edit it out, please. The pitch. Uriarte, chopper to 3rd. But a 6-run inning here in 7.
Same time, if you're Dominican Republic and you've seen this power, you got to be a little intimidated going into tomorrow.
Yeah, and something else. Another
nice changeup. That little arm angle, you talked about the Fernando screwball. That thing goes down. Then he pops 93. You're throwing in the 7.
Here's Hernandez. Offers into the strike zone, lifts it to center. This is going to do it.